Side chick story time with Jen Queen, and she would like to remain anonymous. Although I know in a way I deserve some things, I tried to do right and still ended up in a bad situation, which I should have known how he was, but I thought that he was better. This is a long story and crazy. I met my husband of now in 2012 at my job. At the time I was married and in an abusive marriage. My first marriage, I got married at 21. When I met him, I was going through abuse at home due to mom being a drug addict and father not being around. So my first husband wasn't out for me. And a lot of women do go through that. They have such a bad situation going on at home growing up that the first man they meet and the first man that is willing to take them out of that home, they'll take it, thinking that it's going to be better. Then my mom had so many kids that I ended up taking in my last two siblings so that they wouldn't go through the abuse and grape that I went through. So that situation at home was horrible. No one should ever have to deal with grape at all. And her just trying to save her two siblings, the youngest ones, so it wouldn't happen to them. That's a lot to carry. But once again, in 2012, my now husband, which is my second husband, that's when I met him. He always tried to talk to me, said he was single, but I never tried to talk to him at first. Because even though I was going through an abuse, I was a homebody and not a cheater. He worked on third shift, so I ended up catching my first husband with a woman in the house. And then I decided he was single and I was looking for a way out. So at this point, I am basically just going out to eat on occasion with him. Maybe a movie, trying to get my priorities straight to leave my abusive marriage. Need I remind you, he is spending time with me like he is single. So I'm thinking I am the only one, but no sex is involved because of my past life. So a year later, a woman calls my phone and asks me about him. And I am like, he is just a friend. She tells me she is his girlfriend and that he is a travel nurse. So I am scratching my head. So it all makes sense. At this moment, I stopped talking to him and I left him alone because I don't want that beef. Right now, during all of this, I am still living with the abusive husband, but I told this woman I am not sleeping with him. Keep in mind, everyone in the picture is 10 years older than me, including the abusive husband. So this woman calls my abusive husband, and this man is only her boyfriend, and almost got me. I'm getting flagged a lot, so I'm trying to not use certain words. I got beaten so bad, well, that's how all the hell started. I wasn't sleeping with a guy, and I left the guy alone, but I was so angry and so mad that I pursued him anyways. He ended up helping me get my own place and said that he was coming and never did. So for like 4 years, we went back and forth. All the arguments and drama, but I was never the one picking it. It was her. So one day I woke up and decided to just move on because I was done with being a triangle. So I guess like being in a threesome, basically relationship. You either want her or me. I deleted myself out the equation. As far as I know, a year later, he left her, got his own place, said he wanted to work it out with me. So we started back dating and getting close. Well, one week I was supposed to meet him at the beach to meet his family on a family trip. And before I left, I am in Burger King with my nieces and another woman approached me. This time, the baby mama. She asked me if I was so-and-so, and I said yes, and asked me if I know him. I said yes, but we are just friends. So she goes on to tell me that he talks about me a lot and said that he loves me, but I am married and we could never be together. So after I met her, I didn't go to the beach to meet his family because I said he got out of one relationship and entered into another one. So I left him alone yet again. So 2 years later, I meet a great guy, older, but was so good to me. We was engaged to be married and he comes back in the picture again. I break off my marriage 30 days before the wedding and move in with him. So that's a lot right there because you finally found a great man, a good man. He proposed to you. You guys are going to get married, and 30 days before the wedding, you give him the news, oh, you're not going to be with him. You're not going to move forward. And that happens a lot with people that have a lot of childhood trauma, with their mom, with their dads. When they finally find that good person, they sabotage it. They find a way to just destroy it, unfortunately. That's why it's so important to deal with your childhood traumas before you meet someone else, because in turn, you're going to hurt that person that's going to be good to you, that person that is good to you, that person that's willing to treat you good. You're going to end up hurting them as well. And that's why I always say, hurt people, hurt people. We stay where we are for a year and end up buying a house and getting married. Whole time, it's so much drama and mess with the same baby mama. I didn't think he was sleeping with her because we got together and she said herself they hadn't talked in a year, but I guess it was just out of anger because it was me. 2 years later, I get pregnant with my first child. I had to do IVF because it was hard to get pregnant, and I started catching him cheating with different women. And even when I caught him, the baby mama texting, he started being abusive. Then I popped up pregnant again, and he wasn't expecting her because the doctor said I couldn't have kids naturally. So I think that made him extra angry. He got worse. Part 2 coming up right after this.